Welcome back to another episode of the Head First Podcast. I'm JP Sponseller, joined by Corey Klingenbeck and Cole Harding. We are back with another mid-season guest. Been trying to take advantage of getting a couple guys on from some teams that are absolutely rolling right now, and we've been talking about this team quite a bit, mentioning them on our Saturday shows lately, the Nebraska Cornhuskers. We got Josh Overbeek, who I believe is a former teammate in some capacity of all three of us with over at Midland in high school. He's a Cincinnati native. So Josh, we're pumped to have you on. How are you doing tonight?
Dude, absolutely fired up. Head First Podcast gets me going. I love these guys. And I mean, the nasty natty roots, man, they always go back deep. And already talking Skyline, already talking ball, you know it's going to be great. I mean, I can remember sitting down at a Skyline in Cincinnati and seeing Pete Rose going head first, just right above the fellas on the wall. And I'm like, no better way to get it going than getting a nasty natty crew back. So
love that.
They have that picture in every Skyline, I swear, too.
Hey, dude, it's golden rule. I mean, Pete Rose head first every time.
Yeah.
Can we talk? That might be like the best how are you doing like response that we've ever had on the
That
show.
was so good.
That's a Nebraska guy coming in talking about Skyline, Cincinnati, head first, and Pete Rose all in about 20 seconds.
How you doing? How you doing? Come on, fellas.
All right. Well, before we start talking baseball, I got a couple questions prepared for you to break you in a little bit, and we're gonna start with what we were just talking about. We gotta hear. We asked all of our Cincinnati players, since you're a Cincinnati native, we got to ask you what your Skyline chili order is.
Dude, you got to go 3-way, extra juicy all the way. And those crackers, you grind them up on top, hot sauce on top every time. So you kind of let it sit down. The cheese kind of melts in, and then you're just slicing it with the fork. I mean, that's mandatory every time. And then give me a Coney all the way. And I'll go a Mountain Dew as well on the side. And maybe every once in a while, though, you get a mint on the walkout. You know, you pay at the front, and you got to grab an Andy's or a York or both if you're feeling dangerous. So just every time that's go-to Skyline. Yeah. Hey, how you doing, babe?
I got a couple. I got at least one question and one comment on that order. I know you've been out of Cincinnati for a while. Did you hear the news that no more Pepsi products, no more Dews?
No more Dews. I did not hear that.
So if you've asked for a Mountain Dew in the past 2 years, they've probably given you they got Mellow Yellow in there, which
not bad.
It's
not bad.
Serviceable, I'd say. It's serviceable, but I can tell when I get in there that it's not Dew.
Yeah. Hey, the chili talks for itself. Though. You give me a cup of that and I drink it out of a straw.
All right. And then the other question you mentioned, I totally agree on letting the cheese settle a little bit and melt a little bit, but you're not like a total fan of melting the cheese, right? Because this is starting to remind me of Gold Star, and I love the cold cheese at Skyline, honestly.
Yeah, it's got to be able to pull apart a little bit, you know. It's got to be able to spread, and when it's hot, I mean, you let it settle in, and then from there you got to go. But, I mean, it flattens out over time, so it's a little bit of both. I feel like you got to have some feel with it.
Yeah.
You got to have some feel with it. It depends on – I mean, you're with your guys at Skyline, so you're conversating. You know, you got crackers. You're talking ball. Every time you're looking at Pete Rose on the wall, and just next thing you know, you look down, and it's just – I mean, extra juicy is the most important part of that whole thing. I mean –
So that's part of your order. I don't think I've ever tried that. I'm going to have to try
extra juicy?
Yeah.
Got to go. I mean, you let them know, and they'll be like, all right, you want a bib too? And I'll be like, no, I'm good on the bib. Yeah. I miss it, man. It's been too long since I've been at a Skyline.
Maybe we'll find a way to get you.
I need to get some cans. Yeah. Hey, honestly, UC, I don't know. They need to get – I think I saw Miami baseball. They had like the hard hat with the 2 mocha pots on the side. But UC needs 2 Skyline cans on the side of a hard hat and then into a straw.
That'd be your homer hat. Take a shot at Skyline.
Yeah. All right, I got one for you, Beak. Favorite fast food restaurant? We'll go in Lincoln and then out of Lincoln too.
In Lincoln, there's this place called Agave, and it's like Chipotle, except it's a little cheaper. You get more food, and it's run by the right kind of dudes that they know us by name. And best chips and guac, and they throw a double portion on there all the time. Agave, go-to spot. outside of Lincoln, Whataburger. Ever since my family moved from Cincinnati down to Texas, Whataburger's good when they got those Dr. Pepper shakes. And so, like, it's one of those, like, hey, stop by, quick burger, quick shake, and I'm out. Just passing by. Or Chicken Express. Chicken Express is down in Oklahoma and Texas. Best sweet tea. And when I went to junior college down there in Cisco, I mean, we were there every night because our calf was terrible at Cisco. And so we were there pretty much every night. And it comes with some good gravy, and you're dipping it in there. They put this stuff called spicy serendipity on it. And that place is only the real ones know about Chicken Express.
All right, real quick, that just brought up another question. You could make this one quick. As a JUCO guy, give us a rundown of like what was at your guys' cafeteria on a daily or nightly routine.
Dude, it felt like mom's mystery meatloaf, like every night. Like whatever they didn't use or whatever wasn't eaten like the 2 days before, I swear they were putting it in a big vat, mixing it up, and calling it meatloaf. And that's what it was. I mean, it was bad. It was the Wild West down there. We were like 2 hours west of Fort Worth. I mean, usually there was a pasta, and they'd always butcher the sauce. So it'd be like pasta with some bad, like terrible white sauce, and then meatloaf. The veggies were, I mean, they seemed frozen. I mean, you had to get by. Like, you had to be putting it down. We did have a Pepsi machine down there, though. I mean, we don't even have that here in Nebraska. We have really nice nutritional help here, but there, I mean, we were drinking Dr. Pepper and Dews all the time. Breakfast was usually cereal too. I mean, it was pretty bad. I lost a lot of weight down there doing that. Especially in the heat too.
Yeah, junior college, I was straight peanut butter and jellies. Like, I'd grab a loaf of bread and just peanut butter and jelly. That's what I lived off of for 2 years.
Yeah. Where there's a will, there's a way. I mean, PB&J's got barrels just tucked in them.
There may be good reason, too, that the Nebraska nutrition station doesn't have a Pepsi machine down there. That could be intentional. Just to make sure you guys aren't crushing Cokes on the weekends, 4 games.
Football would be all over that. But, I mean, we have one of the best and nicest nutrition places. Like, we get 3 meals a day every single day, and it's, like, state-of-the-art. And, like, you can order stuff. If you don't like what's on the line, like, you can order stuff. It's called the training table. I mean, it's elite. That's
nice.
It's elite.
Amazing.
All right. Team is heading on the road. You are stopping by a gas station. What's your gas station starter pack for Joshua Overbeek?
Give me some trail mix, like with M&Ms. It's got to have a good ratio of M&Ms. I think Planters is like the blue bags. Give me a Planters trail mix and a Dr. Pepper. But, I mean, usually it depends on what time it is because I might go black coffee in the morning, depending if it's like early bus ride. I'll go black coffee and maybe a donut or something, depending on what they got. But most of the time, if it's midday, give me trail mix and a DP.
Love that.
Oh, yeah.
That is good stuff. Good stuff. All right. I got one more unless these guys come up with anything in the next 30 seconds. But favorite player of all time?
Favorite player of all time? I'll go current right now. Jose Ramirez is probably one of the most underrated baseball players in the big leagues. I mean, that dude mashes from both sides. Sneaky wheels. He's a fun player to watch, and so he's sneaking up on my list of favorite players. But I feel like Pete Rose got some good quality time in the league, longer than anybody else, and you got to respect that name. But Ty Cobb, I mean, you got to go back to the roots. And that dude was the Georgia peach. That dude was tough as nails, talking about just sliding spikes first right into the dude's crotch, like did whatever he needed to do to score. I mean, that guy, it was a gentleman's game, and he was owning it. He made it his own game, honestly, back then. But Ty Cobb, I will say, all time. I mean, you hear stories of that guy, and you're just like, that's actually like the most gritty, hard-nosed thing I've ever heard in my life.
I love that. I love that you are not scared to come out and say that your favorite player of all time is a guy that you've never seen play before. Cause I feel like that's how it is for like any of mine too. Like growing up, I guess kind of current. Like when I was really young, I'd said like Barry Larkin, and people were like, wait, weren't you born in like 2001? I'm like, yeah. That's sick.
Larkin,
what's it to you?
Still. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Barry Bonds is slowly creeping up on that. Like the more that I see what he did, whether with steroids or without, like he might be the greatest baseball player of all time. And that is a legitimate argument. And as I see that, like another guy that I didn't get to watch play, but every time I see his swing, every time I see him talk about hitting, I'm like, the dude just gets it, and he mashed. And I'm like, this dude is probably one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest.
It's my pick for my personal greatest player of all time. I got a video for you. Me and Ryan Nicholson used to watch this all the time. I don't know if it's still up. I feel like half the video got its music taken down for like copyright or something, but there's this video called Barry Bonds Pure Greatness is all it's called.
Yeah.
And it's just like a 7.5-minute highlight video of him just getting nukes to like AC/DC, and it is absolutely electric.
Dude,
fires me up.
Talk about poolside pimp jobs.
Oh my God, everything.
I saw a video today of it was like Prince Fielder 3 home run game, and his swing was just like so big, but was just absolutely crushing balls.
Violent,
so violent, dude. I mean, he would swing out of his slippers every time, and you're just like, bro. I remember him, Miguel Cabrera, and Prince Fielder, just like the 3-4 in Detroit for a while, and that was pitcher's worst nightmare. I mean, imagine seeing those guys in the box dig in, and you're like, Triple Crown winner, and you know this dude is getting his hack off every time. So you cannot come in the penthouse without an invite. I think Barry Bonds would always say that, man. Yeah, you can't come into the penthouse without an invite on those guys.
I love it. I would say the last nostalgic base, because when I think of Prince Fielder, I feel like I think of him on the Brewers, him with like Carlos Gomez, like those
Ryan
dudes.
Braun.
Yeah, scary lineup.
Ricky Weeks.
Yeah.
Ball players, man. Ball players.
All right, we could do this all day, but let's talk about some Huskers baseball, huh? The Huskers are hot. 26-6 right now. You guys have won 21 of your last 22 ball games. Unbelievable run. Just talk about what the vibes have been inside your guys' clubhouse, and what it's been like just being around this group of guys heading to the field every day. Obviously, things are going right, and you guys are feeling good right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a single day where we don't show up to the yard and like, hey, we're going to win this game today. And I think it galvanized us early on in the season. We had quite a few walk-offs, and some of them were, bigger, run differentials than we would have liked to go into the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. And when you win those games and you give the guys an excuse to go out and do the little things that it takes to win, and the belief starts to build that you're never out of the fight, that really galvanized our team together. And now, I mean, it just absolutely shot us out of the cannon to continue to go out and win games, because teams will put up, 1 or 2 crooked numbers throughout the game, and we will score in every single inning. And it's been cool to see that consistently, and not just, winning series, but also sweeping series. Doing that at home has been really special. We're undefeated at home. It's really nice to be able to show up. I mean, we live probably 100 yards away from the baseball field, and to walk to the field each and every day and just be with the guys. We got an older squad, pretty old on the dirt. Got some transfers who've done some great things. A lot of JUCO guys. We got a true freshman behind the plate. He hits in the 2-hole as well. And I mean, across the board, this team is together, and our belief is just moving forward each and every day, building up in confidence.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know if you saw it or not. In my Omaha 8, I was going to pick 2 teams that no one else was going to pick, just to throw some oddballs out there. The Huskers were one of them. One, what you talked about, I knew you guys had just like an old experienced lineup that I had watched, had some big flashes of success really the past, like, since you've been there. And then I don't know, I know what you're about as a player. And once I saw that you were kind of in that leading group of guys, I was like, all right, this team's about just like being gritty and playing hard. So I just knew you guys, honestly, I knew you guys were going to bring that every day. You guys are making me look a lot smarter than I probably am right now, but I am all for it. I just want to say I'm the only one who had the Huskers in Omaha. So when you guys get there, I don't know if I need to be standing on top of the dugout or something, but I'd like to be a big part of your guys' experience.
Let me tell you, getting to play the Big Ten tournament in Omaha and being familiar with that field. Like I've gotten a dog pile on that field twice now with back-to-back rings in the Big Ten championship, the tournament. We know what it takes to get there to play for and to win the Big Ten tournament. We also have been in some tough regionals. I mean, we ran into Cags and the Gators 2 years ago in Stillwater, and they still, I mean, Florida even came out of that. I thought Oklahoma State was going to take care of them, but they were playing the right ball at the right time. And so to be able to see that, and then last year run into UNC and Oklahoma, I mean, UNC ended up getting out of that regional, I believe. And we were playing Oklahoma and they were legit. But now to see, like, for our best chance, the most important thing we can do is be present in each and every game, because we got to win these midweek games. We got to sweep teams to be able to host a regional. And when we host a regional, that will get us our best chance to then host a super and go to Omaha. And if, 2 years ago, I was on a team that was 40-22, and it was a few midweek games and a few Sunday games that we let get away from us. And now we understand, and being the older guys, we know, like, you have to show up on Sunday and put people away. You have to show up on the midweeks and do what other teams are not willing to do, be gritty over pretty, and win those games. And we're doing that, and we know, and we'll continue to build that belief so that when we do host a regional, like, Nebraska fans, like, I mean, you'll see the fan base, and it is legit. I mean, we travel, like, it is unreal. Like, Husker Nation, we've sold out. I mean, I think it's like 400 straight football games, and like, they don't just follow football, they're following basketball to the Sweet 16, a historic run for us this year. They're following baseball. We're top in attendance. I want to say like top 10 in attendance every year. And we have a great field for that. So I know that if we continue to put ourselves in a top 5% team this year, we will be able to host a regional and get to Omaha. So I hope we need you standing on that dugout.
Oh yeah,
We'll put the boys on the skyline.
Yeah, those midweeks are like, I actually came across it last year when we made our first regional since 2019, and that run we had going to Tennessee. But it was like, you have to win your like midweeks. It's kind of crazy because it was funny having Seth Logue back on our staff last year, and he was like, dude, we win our midweeks, like, we'll have a damn good chance at the end of the year. And I've looked at your guys' schedule, you win the midweeks and you win Sunday games, and that'll put you in the best spot possible. Like, and you come away with your sweeps, you come away with your series win to the Big Ten, and then you get to go to Omaha and play the Big Ten tournament, and then you come back home and host. So you guys are doing damn good, and dude, you guys are like sick to watch. I was actually just watching you guys on wheels this morning, and I was like, dude, they got some flow to them. They got some juice.
They're fun to watch. Yeah. It's awesome.
And the Big Ten is seriously taking some legit steps forward. And so those midweek games are magnified, but every game in conference is magnified all the more because you got UCLA, USC, and I think Oregon dropped a little bit. But, like, these Big Ten teams are definitely taking a jump forward. But you can't take the Penn States lightly. You can't take Michigan lightly. Like, anybody can beat anybody on any given day. And that's how the Big 12 is too. I mean, it's just a mix of it. And I think college baseball is definitely taking steps forward in the best way, where everybody's got talent now because of the junior college hype that kids are going there and betting on themselves, but also the transfer portal, and guys are finding the right spot and the right place to be. And college baseball is, I feel like this year it's just a big mix up. It's like, I mean, you see certain teams beating other teams, and you're like, man, like, I didn't have that on my bingo card, but like, they're actually pretty nasty, and like they could make a run. And it's like, it's hard to pick, man. It's hard to bet on that.
Yeah, you said it right. As a betting man myself, it has been somewhat of a tough year for me. It's been it's been all over the place. Like, especially as far as you talked about it, like in like more in the SEC, like how rare sweeps are, and just like how many sweeps you saw the past 2 weeks, and then like it's been crazy. But no, you touched on two main things that I kind of wanted to ask you about. One of the reasons why I want Nebraska to be in Omaha so bad is because of seeing the fan base at the Big Ten tournament. I mean, how much, like, obviously you guys are an hour up the road, but how much juice does it give you guys to show up to a Big Ten tournament? One, you're playing at the Chuck, which is already awesome, but to see that it's just packed out in red and you guys basically get a weekend of home games there.
Yeah, it's honestly better than a home game for us because, I mean, we sold out the last 2 years in the Big Ten tournament, 15,000 fans, and they won't sell the outfield seats, which kind of makes me mad because I'm like, you would sell out the outfield too. And I'm like, and I don't understand. I mean, some of the Big Ten teams, they have to like kind of be jealous because we're literally running. There's 20 of their fans, and then the rest of it is sold out for us. And it gets loud. And I will say, though, our fan base is a little different because it's, Nebraska's success in the past and just kind of it's an older fan base. They're more old school baseball. We're not getting a ton of college kids out, but once we start winning, and then when the Big Ten tournament rolls around, that's when everybody buys in and all the college kids start coming. Because it's a very family-oriented university, which is a great thing at the same time. But to be able to start having that postseason baseball feel before we even get to Omaha will only help us all the more, Lord willing, when we get there and play in front of triple the amount of fans. Because, the Jello shots record, if we make it to Omaha, that thing is getting absolutely smashed.
It's getting blown out of the water.
Yeah, it's getting blown out of the water when Nebraska gets that.
They'll be there for like Thursday, the practice day, already just getting their early work in, getting numbers up.
Exactly, just tossing them.
But
that's no good.
You talked about how your fan base is kind of an old school fan base. They like old school baseball, tough baseball. They gotta love this team this year. I wanted to ask. I noticed that like almost your whole roster wears pants up, like 06 look. Is that? Do you guys have to wear pants up, or do you guys all just choose to?
It's mandatory. We have.
It's part of the uniform.
Our coach played here, and that's been basically across the line since back then. And to think about just Alex Gordon and Darren Erstad and some of these guys who have gone before us and worn the N. They respect the game, and they know like we can't show up and out talent people. We can't show up and like play the pretty game of baseball and try to do all the sexy stuff without doing the dirty work behind the scenes. And so like having to be different and having a group of guys that buys into like, we can't roll into a regional and play an SEC team and outslug them if we don't get guys on base, do the little things. And so having that buy-in, that hard-nosed, gritty beats pretty, and everybody's buying into the pants up. And our team is unique, I will say. And we do have a lot of talent, but still you have to have a good mix of both to be successful and to go a long ways. And so I know our fan base loves that. And it creates a standard. Like every guy understands you show up and, hey, we look a certain way, we move, act, and respond a certain way, and we continue to beat people a certain way too. And this is how we're going to win. And we know that and continue to forge our identity in the gritty beats pretty.
But yeah, and I've noticed since just watching you guys, since Will Bolt has been the head coach, and you said like that has an impact on the standard. It's similar to what I've talked about since at least style of play and effort wise since Coach Bischel's been at Cincinnati. But like what you're gonna get every time you turn on the Huskers, right? At least. Obviously, this year it's been a shit ton of wins, and you're 26-6. But regardless of win or loss, you're just getting a group of guys that's gonna go to war for 9 innings and play hard baseball, and it's been a joy for me to watch. I love it.
Yeah, you touched on it earlier. Let me ask you about this. Like, you obviously started at a 4-year, went to a junior college for a year or two, and now you're at your third school. Like, touch on that experience, older roster that's like getting you guys to like finish these weekends out, finish these games out. Like, how much does that help you, propel you? Like, I know you talked about the freshmen behind the dish, but like, how's that roster like help you guys throughout the weekend, throughout like the midweeks as well?
Yeah, when I first got into college, that was the first year of guys getting an extra year because of COVID. And so I was immediately groomed into understanding what these older baseball players what they had learned and basically how hungry they were given that extra year. And so I learned from them in an older clubhouse from the very beginning. And now to be in that spot as a 5th year and to then lead other guys to that has been really cool to see some freshmen buy into it and start to understand the standard and do things the right way and act like a professional and take care of their business off the field and separate the game and be able to have a life on top of that. That's been really cool to see, but also to have other guys who are in the same boat. Dylan Carey, he thought he was going to get drafted last year, went down to Driveline, spent some time getting prepared, and then didn't get his name called. And he's like, you know what? I'm all in. Like, I'm coming back. I'm going to be one of the best shortstops in the country. And playing on the left side with him has been money. We've had another guy, Rhett Stokes, phenomenal second baseman, some of the best hands I've seen. A guy from junior college down in New Mexico. I believe it was a military institute as well. And he's a 5th year. He got that COVID year from the JUCO stuff as well, the Pavia. I don't know. They're calling it anything nowadays. But to have us three, like those two up the middle, and then being able to play third and having, Case Sanderson at first base. He's having a monster year, 3rd year in a row. He's just absolutely hitting the smithereens out of it. And I mean, he's our youngest guy on the dirt, and he plays a nasty first base, left, hitting in the 3 spot. And having those guys that are all bought in, but are willing to separate and be themselves. Like, they don't have to show up every day and try to press and try to be something that they're not, because we come from a lot of different cloths, some JUCO guys, some not, some 5th year, some not, some younger, some older. And like, it allows, when guys can be themselves each and every day, it allows showing up to the yard to be fun, because you don't have to press. You can just show up and have joy. So,
yeah, it's kind of funny because we talk about UC every Wednesday, Thursday, whenever they don't play. It's like we're actually seeing the other end of the spectrum right now, because UC has got every freshman, sophomore playing on the diamond right now. There's maybe one junior on the mound on Fridays, and there's a junior behind the dish and then at third base, but everybody else is freshmen, sophomores. So it's kind of wild just to see like these old rosters like mesh, like you said, and like learn from the younger guys, learn from the older guys, and then those dudes come up and they're like ready to go. So it is crazy.
I think you kind of touched on like the experience of just like knowing that the little things do pay off, doing them right every day, and then also being in that position of being mature enough to like go for the sweep instead of taking a Sunday lightly or winning that midweek game that it may be hard at times to really get up for.
Yeah. It's having guys willing to buy into the things that they know will help, even like save their legs when you've emptied the tank out for Friday, Saturday, and it's like, you know what, like, there's actually a few little things that I need to do to actually be fresh and get there in my mind so that I can compete my best on the field. And so being able to separate those things and focus when it comes to not just showing up on Sunday after a quick sleep and, maybe a decent breakfast and roll out feels like a show and go. But the older guys, like, when you treat the game, it's supposed to, and you expect to show up and play every day and give it your all, like, it makes it so much easier.
Yeah. So let's rewind a little bit. Obviously, you guys have been on a heater, but started off with a fairly tough non-conference schedule, going down to Globe Life and then going to Auburn for the series. Competed very well in all of those games, but you guys sit at a 5-5 record at March 1st, which I'm sure you guys wish that you could have had a few more wins in there. How do you feel like that tough non-conference schedule and going on the road a little bit has kind of propelled and prepared you guys to go on this run that you're on right now?
Yeah, I mean, we opened up UConn, Northeastern, GCU, 3 straight wins, and then dropped one to Stanford. Didn't know how good Stanford was going to be right away. We knew they're a good team, but like what that looks like, I believe they're in the ACC, so what that looks like moving forward, and actually how good they're going to be. And so that was kind of a tough loss. We ended up giving up like a 5 spot in the first, and it shows like, I mean, we miscommunicated on a ball, and next thing you know, they got 5 runs, and you're like, well, that's college baseball, and that's how it happens in the blink of an eye. And so a game we definitely would have liked to get back, because we ended up outscoring them after that 5 spot the rest of the game in the fourth quarter. Towards the end of we call the fourth quarter the 6th, 7th, and 8th inning, because that's when a lot of leverage arms are throwing, and there's a lot of good ball to be played, and that's when you want to score runs on those guys. And so letting that one get away from us was kind of tough, and not sweeping that first weekend. But one of those we learned from, and then going and handing one to Kansas State and handing one to Louisville. Both games were in the lead, both games that we just didn't finish, got out early and then ended up kind of coasting. And those are teams that are good enough, and teams that have Omaha caliber teams that will, come up, and they're not going to just go away. And no team really just goes away, but they'll find ways to win the ugly game. Mm-hmm. And so losing those 2, and then absolutely, our coaches challenged us. I mean, we're sitting in Globe Life in the clubhouse, a big league clubhouse, and our coaches just put their finger in our chest, and they're like, what's the response going to be tomorrow? Because you can't just roll out and beat Florida State in a fashion game. And we rolled out and put it to them from the very first inning, because our coaches had challenged us. They're like, all right, you can either lay down and just take it, or you can actually do something about it and fight tomorrow and show up and punch a good Florida State team. And that's exactly what we did. And I don't think we looked back after that. Lost that one game to Michigan recently within the last couple of weeks. But other than that, I mean, those losses early in the season, even though there weren't many of them, they allowed us to ask ourselves, like, are we willing to show up every single day and do what it takes to beat these teams? And then when we have tasted this loss, is it sour? Are you doing something about what maybe went wrong at the field, or what you didn't do to make a hustle play, or the energy in the dugout matters so much. I mean, the guys who aren't on the field, like, if you're down a few runs, are you bringing it? And are you maxing out for your guys and serving the team the best way that you possibly can? And so to learn a lot from, the Kansas State loss and the Louisville loss at Globe Life, I think that really propelled us then to respond and beat Florida State, and then not look back since then, and continue to see the success, because we know it's every single day. You cannot take a single day off because teams are good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think too, like, you always hear from coaches usually when they get swept at Globe Life, but I've heard in like post game, it's like, well, if you want to start off your season 9-0, you can stay home and have everyone come to you. But if you want to know what kind of team you have in February or March, come down here and challenge yourself a little bit. And no, I think just having a weekend like that, or a day like that, and then actually show up and respond. I don't know. It just had to, whether you guys realize it or not, like, as much confidence as it's given that group to, one, be able to respond, but just the fact that you guys have already gone through a little bit of adversity. And it was like week 2. It's not like it was a panic button type of weekend or 2 weeks. But no, just having some of that experience and challenge yourself a little bit in the non-conference.
And I didn't even touch on Auburn at all. But I mean, that was a regional or super regional feel Friday night. I mean, you're taking BP in the ballpark, and you're like, it smells like hot dogs and caramel corn or kettle corn or whatever, and you're just like, this is a ballpark. I mean, this is where I want to be on a Friday night playing college baseball. They got a nasty team this year, up and down the lineup, on the mound as well. They're coached well. They do things the right way. They have there's a good faith that backs that team up, and a fan base too that shows up. And I mean, they get into it. And the SEC is no joke, but to go there and to take that one on Friday night, teams know and they'll respect us because they know we're an older team that doesn't just go away. But I will say they're talented. Our bullpen was kind of shaky that original Saturday and then Sunday. And the little things get magnified in big boy baseball. The little things get magnified. You misplay one ball, next thing you know, it's a 3 spot on your head. I think we didn't give our best on Saturday and Sunday, but it shows, like, something you can learn from, but also something that, it goes a long way. And the line for winning, it's really easy to lose games, but it's really hard to win them, and the line is razor thin. The difference could be in the first inning, or it could be a pivotal, piece of the game in the 8th. And it's really easy to lose games, but it's hard to win them, and you got to be able to go to that place in your mind to beat those good teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that.
I love how you said, like, one can lead to a 3 spot, or I think it was Stanford. You said 5 spot. I feel like I've had, like, plenty of moments in college baseball where I'd be standing in the outfield and, like, something would happen, and I'm like, this guy's about to, like, double off the wall, or he's definitely going to hit a homer. Like,
you just know it.
Like, it's going to happen right here. And it's just funny how that works. It's such a feel thing, but like, as soon as you slip up or you take a pitch off or someone takes a pitch off, it's like, all right, well, that was their advantage for the game. Let's see. And they're going to take advantage of it.
Yeah. And good teams capitalize. Good teams always capitalize on that. And you can feel it down in your plums. You're like, dude, like, we walked this guy, whatever. It's like competitive 3-2 pitch on the line, but, like, he didn't land this or that early in the count. So, like, this guy works out, nails at bat, and then, like, say you boot a ball. Next thing you know, there's 2 runners on with nobody out, and, like, they're getting ready to hang a crooked one up, and you're like, bro, you can just feel it. You're like, this is not
3 hole steps in, and you're like, this guy's hitting one 700 feet.
Like, you give a team 4 or 5 outs in this game, it's like, holy. Now
I feel like you guys are giving me, like, PTSD right now, because being at the Oklahoma State-Cincinnati series this weekend, obviously we had a decent amount of walks and a couple errors, and no, I literally had this feeling like 3 or 4 times at least, where it's like, this next ball is leaving the yard.
And that place,
unfortunately, it happened.
Yeah, dude, it looks huge on everywhere else. Like, you see videos, pictures, and then you just, like, tap one and it goes like 460.
Dude, That place is like, I remember watching Jack Caglione take BP there, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like the ball is just getting,
and it goes over
the stadium.
Yeah, it goes over the concrete like stands with all the grills and everything. And
he's just hitting them over the batter's eye, dead center, and you're just like, and it's leaving.
Just feeding the cows down the street.
Well, that's the moment I knew. I had already known that I was not born to play baseball, but that's when I 1,000% knew, is when I watched him took BP, and then we hit right after him.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get a ball.
Noodles.
I couldn't get a ball out that day, and he was just peppering on backside. I'm like, yeah, this is a whole different ball game.
Yeah, when we went down there, it was him and Wyatt Langford too. I'm like, wow.
Well, remember too, because it was flying more the Friday, but I remember Thursday it was like a thick air and like balls weren't getting out. It was like dewy BP.
Friday night.
Yeah. And then Friday when we got there, we just see them launching balls, and we were like, oh boy.
Yeah.
I had that same feeling when Weatherholt came to Clifton a few years ago. He just like casually putting balls on top of the arena and BP, and I was like,
that dude's just,
this guy knows how to hit. He was like a dude that understood his swing so well, you could tell. But
yeah. And now to see him like opening day flicking balls, 2 or 3 balls off dead center.
Yeah, like, 95 up and away off the plate. Weird. How you doing?
Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
To the
burn. You touched on it. I wanted to go a little bit deeper into it. Your guys' head coach, Will Bolt, he's a former Husker. Last time the Huskers were in Omaha was 2005, but he was actually a part of that squad that went back-to-back years in 2001 and 2002. I feel like it's just kind of special. You don't see it too often nowadays. Like, how cool is it for you guys? And I guess, like, I don't know. I gotta feel like the pregame speeches that he's able to pull out, or just the way he's able to fire you guys up as a former player that's been to Omaha and just knows what the program and the culture's about. Just talk about what it's been like playing for him.
Yeah, I feel like most importantly, he's gotten the pieces that Nebraska needs because he understands what it takes to wear a Nebraska uniform and to go to Omaha. And obviously, hindsight, like you got, Gordon and what he was doing, and, just how talented some of those guys were that were here at that time. You have that piece, but also to understand the clubhouse and the glue guy that maybe goes overlooked, or, the freshman talent from Lincoln, Nebraska that's been recruited here, because there's some good ball here as well. And to understand, all right, we need this kind of guy, this kind of guy, this kind of guy, and then we need to develop him. We need to push him. So to be able to have that feel and to navigate a locker room. But then also, the biggest message from him is like the best teams are player-led. And if you guys actually want to go to Omaha, every single conversation you have in light of everything that you do has to be centered around going to Omaha. Because if you're not talking about it, you're not going to do the little things that it takes to get there. If you're not thinking about it, you're not going to crave it when you are in a midweek game and it's a tight, you're playing Creighton at the Schwab and you can feel it, or you already been here and you've dogpiled and you know what it takes. And then, like, when you're playing those games, like, you can't let them slip, because you know that, wow, this is actually what it takes, is doing the little things now. And so he pushes us to be the best leaders that we can be, because he knows that it's more important to have the conversations as a team without the coaches there. And what they do think, what they know is that, the guys who are leading and coaching up are the dudes who are holding the standard every day, are the dudes who are showing up to the yard and making sure guys are doing their early work, and making sure, the other guys are doing, the pitchers are ready to go and whatnot. And so he continues to say that the best teams are player-led, because that's what he knew got them to Omaha back in 01, 02, or in 05 when he was a GA or helping out there at some point. So.
Yeah, that's nails. Nails. You hit the nail on the head right there with the player-led quote, because I think you're, more than right about what. Like, I think if you're not talking about winning games, winning series, sweeping series, it's like, how is that going to help us, like in the cages on the field when the coaches aren't out there and we're just taking GBs or taking BP and you want to hit lasers off the wall? Like, when you're not thinking or talking about it, then like what else are you going to be doing? Because you're obviously not going to be doing the little things about it. So that's sick that you mentioned that player-led thing, because I agree 100%.
Yeah, I would say I like the part of Coach kind of knowing like not only what players, but like what kind of guys you need, right? Like I know I talk about Coastal a lot, but I feel like they're similar in the way where they've had these coaches that have played there for forever. And like, it's not only do they know what kind of player they want to recruit, but they're recruiting a type of kid too.
Yeah.
And
that's huge to have like your coach that played there though. I feel like that's a big part.
I think it's awesome. Yeah.
Well, it says something like big about the university too, just that they like if the culture wasn't good or it's not somewhere they enjoyed, they wouldn't want to go back there and coach. So I think that's where it starts to mean a little more to the people that do come back and get to help the next generation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it comes down to just being about it and doing things the right way. And I mean, that's our coaches say, like, that's one of the best things that you could ever receive as a compliment is that guy's about what he says he's about. Yeah. And that guy backs it up. And when you put yourself out there too, and this is kind of where the coaches have wanted us to be, it's like, okay, you can lead by example, but they say that's the biggest cop-out thing that you could ever say, because when you put yourself out there and it's like, I'm going to do this, then you actually have to go back it up. And so they want us to, like, you actually take a risk by putting yourself out there as a leader or by saying you're going to go do something, and then you back it up by example. That's when true people and other players will follow you as a player. And so as you continue to move forward, they're like, you guys need to be talking about this, but you also need to be backing it up and be about what you say you're about. If you want to host a regional, then go win the midweek game. If you want to, go to a super and be a national seed, then you need to sweep on Sunday. So don't just say you're going to do it, like actually be about it and do the little things that it takes.
Yeah. I love it.
Wish I had a fifth year now. I'd go to Nebraska.
No, this guy's firing me up. Yeah. I actually, I was looking. I didn't realize Nebraska is only a 6.5 hour drive from me, so I need to make a trip out there at some point. Maybe I need someone to show me how to do Lincoln the right way, though. So once your baseball days are over, we'll have to plan a trip, and you'll have to show us how to do Lincoln the right way.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you'll just have to make it to Omaha when we're there this year.
Yeah, Matt, I'm talking about going to Lincoln, though. I need to see Lincoln.
You get the best of both worlds after.
Yeah, I mean, it is only they're an hour apart, you said.
Yeah,
I know. I just like I like seeing the campuses. I like getting the home crowd feel, even though that's going to be a home crowd. But still.
Imagine Nebraska in Omaha for like Game 2 or 3 of the freaking College World Series. That place might be flooded with red. Like, you're not going to see another color in the stands.
Hashtag get Will Compton to Omaha. Get bussing with the boys to Omaha.
That'd be sick.
That guy's gnarly. I mean, talk about getting people fired up. We get some videos from him, like for football games and baseball games and stuff, and he gets after it.
Yeah, he's awesome. I loved him. When he was on the sideline for, I think they both went up there for the Michigan game. Is that right?
Yeah.
And he was throwing up the X to the student section.
Bones,
they were loving
throwing bones.
They were loving it.
Yeah, that's
all right.
That's a good thing in Nebraska.
Do you guys got anything for him before we wrap this thing up?
I think this is pretty good. I don't want to ruin it.
No, it's gas.
All right, Skyline. That's it.
Yeah, we could talk about Skyline for days. But yeah, we appreciate you coming on. We're obviously pumped to continue to watch the Huskers and cheer you guys on throughout the year. Get you boys to Omaha. Get that sea of red out in Omaha for the World Series for the first time since 2005. And tune in to these boys got, who is it, USC and Oregon these next 2 weeks, which sitting at 19 in the rankings right now. Mm-hmm. Take care of business these next 2 weeks and then finish out.
Take care of business tomorrow, baby. You got the Jayhawks.
Yeah,
I was saying they got the Jayhawks, who's been creeping up there. Another big game. But no, everything's in front of you guys, like you said. Great opportunity to host for the first time since 2008. Huskers baseball, it's on fire, man. And we appreciate you coming on. You've been a big part of that. And we're pumped to watch you the rest of the season.
Appreciate it, B.
All day, boys.
Good luck, brother.
Appreciate you, boys. Thank you very much, and go Big Red as always.
Absolutely.